Good morning. I am Shruti Gupta. My designation is nursing tutor. I am working in Rama University, Kanpur. So today I am going to discuss about myocardial infarction. So let's start. First of all, we will discuss with the introduction. So for introduction, myocardial infarction, the myo word means muscle and cardial, we already know, cardial means heart. So myocardial means muscle of the heart, and infarction word means less blood flow. Due to less blood flow results lack of O2, death of myocardial muscle. So this condition is from word myocardial infarction. It means the death of myocardial muscle due to the lack of oxygen. So next, moving forward for the definition, it is also known as heart attack. The myocardial infarction is also known as heart attack. This word is also known as heart attack, which is started. MI is defined as a disease condition which is caused by the reduced blood flow in coronary artery due to atherosclerotic plaque or block or occlusion of the artery by the clotting or thrombus production. So what happens in this condition? This is explanation with the mechanism. The process of mechanism, here we see inside the lumen of coronary artery. This is the coronary artery lumen. The coronary arteries are that arteries which are supplying blood towards the heart by the heart itself. These arteries supplying oxygenated blood towards the heart. So what happens in the condition of myocardial infarction or heart attack? The coronary artery lumen start building the plaque, which whose patient which consume more fat or more cholesterol diet, they consume that fat contained and they started building the atherosclerotic plaque inside the lumen of coronary artery. See, this is the lumen of coronary artery, which is building the atherosclerotic plaque. Atherosclerotic plaque is building inside the lumen of coronary artery. This is the extra fat or cholesterol which is building inside the lumen of coronary artery. This happens in the obese person who is having more weight or fat inside their body. So they started the collection of fat inside their lumen. This lumen is starting inside the coronary artery. So this atherosclerotic plaque started the reducing blood flow towards the heart muscle. Here the heart muscles are waiting for oxygen. So what happens if this plaque will rupture? When this plaque completely build up and started rupture, these rupture will promote blood clotting. These rupture particles will promote blood clotting. When blood clotting will start, there is no blood flow. Next step, there is no blood flow towards the heart muscle. There is no blood flow. This causes the block of artery. When our arteries block, this is also known as the coronary artery disease. Let's see in the pathophysiology or mechanism. First of all, buildup of plaque in coronary artery, which we seen in this picture. This is plaque which is building inside the lumen of coronary artery due to the extra consumption of fat or cholesterol food which you are taking in, by our diet. So next step, this plaque is building inside the lumen. Rupture of atherosclerotic plaque. Rupture of atherosclerotic plaque start when plaque is developing completely. This plaque start rupturing, or unstable plaque. Unstable plaque promote blood clotting. When this plaque ruptures, it's adhere with our blood cells and consume that blood cell with promoting the blood clotting. When blood clotting start, that unstable plaque promote blood clotting. When blood clotting start, that will increase the chances of block of artery. The block of artery due to the formation of blood clot. Blood flow stop or made up of clot, block of artery happen. Once the coronary artery blocks, there is no supply towards the heart muscle. Which cardiomyocytes are waiting for the oxygen they are bringing by the coronary arteries, there is no supply due to the block of artery. So in what happened after that? Poor blood flow to myocardial muscle. So what is happening in this process? The poor blood flow by the formation of atherosclerotic plaque, due to the formation of atherosclerotic plaque or clotting. These two factors are completely blocking this artery and causing the death of cardiomyocytes. Cardiomyocytes sites are the cells of heart or heart muscle. Suppose these cells are waiting for oxygen. These cells are waiting for oxygen, which are bringing by the coronary artery. These are bringing by the coronary arteries. These arteries are supplying oxygenated blood towards these cells. So these cells will demand oxygen and this artery will supply oxygen. So this chain happens, supply and demand. What happens in myocardial infarction, that is, if these arteries are not supplying the sufficient blood means what is the demand of these cells. If these cells are demanding oxygen and they are not providing sufficient amount means they are demanding 100% or they are supplying more than or less than or 30%, less than 30% oxygen they are supplying. So in case there is a deprivation due to the lack of supply, this lack of supply results the death of these cells. Because they are hungry. These cells are very hungry. They need oxygen for their work, because our heart is pumping for whole body. Our heart is pumping blood toward whole body and heart itself. Because there is no supply, block of artery happen due to this plaque or clotting. So what happens? These arteries start dying, these cells start dying, and this death is the condition which we are saying that myocardial infarction, which is the death of myocardial muscle or heart muscles. Next is causes of myocardial infarction. So first one, the cause is obesity. We all know obese person have more cholesterol and more fat inside their body, which is building or which is making many disease. The obese person is inviting many of disease. So for the myocardial infarction, the obesity is the first factor or first cause which is contributing to making the atherosclerotic plaque inside the coronary artery lumen. So next is the coronary artery disease. If the atherosclerotic plaque is building inside the lumen of artery, then this is developing the condition which is known as coronary artery disease, when arteries are not supplying sufficient amount of blood towards the heart muscles. Next is atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is the formation of atherosclerotic plaque inside the lumen. This process happens due to the collection of cholesterol inside the lumen of artery. This is also happens due to the alcoholism and smoking. Next is thrombus production, the production of blood clot inside the coronary arteries or arteries which restrict the blood flow towards the heart muscles. Next is pulmonary failure. The pulmonary failure is the failure of lungs. When our lungs fail to deliver the oxygen towards the heart, if heart will not get sufficient amount of oxygen, then what it will pump towards the body. When our lungs are not making oxygen, not forwarding or providing oxygen towards the heart, the circulation needs oxygen, because our whole body and whole cells are waiting for the oxygen. So if our lungs start fail, our pulmonary failure is happening. So this also developing the or influencing the chances for the myocardial infarction. Next is smoking or alcoholism. We all know smoking, this is the toxic content which we consume by the smoke, which patients are consuming the alcohol or smoking. This content is dissolved in our blood and starting the hardening of the membrane of our artery. Our artery's lumen is starting harden, which is called sclerosis, which makes our artery lumen or membrane hard and also weaken the membrane of that part of artery. Alcoholism is also making many toxic contents in our blood, which are adding by the consumption of alcohol, which makes the chances for the myocardial infarction. Hypertension, the high BP. Hypertension means the high BP. If our blood pressure is high inside the arteries due to the collection of plaque or fat, this condition is also very dangerous. It can make the rupture of artery and hemorrhage, production of infract there, and clotting of the blood will happen, and it will also contain this condition which is called the myocardial infarction. Next is stress. We all know this is stress is condition which is making many impact on our body due to the nervous or psychological control which we lost by the stress, and many conditions like our blood flow and blood pressure is gone high. This condition is contributing towards the myocardial infarction. These main causes we have discussed. Next is the clinical manifestation or sign and symptoms of this condition. So sign and symptoms includes first sign, three main indicators of the MI. The first one is the angina. Angina is also known as chest pain. This pain arises from the left arm. It starts with the left arm and also with the lower jaw, and again it's continue towards the abdomen, including the neck portion and toward the chest. This starts from the left arm. This confuses the patient. This pain confuses the patient. Especially this is known as the chest pain. Angina is known as the chest pain, which is mostly indicating the first character, which is indicating the myocardial infarction or heart attack. If patient is suffering with this kind of pain, this pain is arising with the same origin of nerves, which is called angina. Next is fainting and sweating. Fainting means patient will fall down due to the an impact of pain and other things. This is sweating. Patient will start sweat or wet their body due to the myocardial infarction. Dyspnea. This is caused the loss of difficulty in breathing due to the pulmonary stress. If our body, our heart is not supplying sufficient amount of oxygen, he is not getting and never supply the oxygen as our body demand. Next is anxiety. Patient will go in anxious. Patient will suffer with the anxiety due to this condition because his body is suffering with many conditions like fainting and sweating both. If patient will start sweating, the anxiety will be there. Heart rate abnormality. If heart will not get sufficient amount of oxygen, the heart will never pump vigorously as it work. Normally heart can pump normally heart can pump, but if MI is there is a heart rate abnormality. Our heart rate, normal pulse rate is 72 to 80 beats per minute, but in case of MI there is a abnormal condition. There is no normal range of the heart rate because our heart is suffering with the death of their cells or muscles. Hypoxemia is the low level of blood oxygen in blood. So when we are examining or diagnosing with the pulse oximeter or ABGs, there will be a diagnosis of hypoxemia, lack of oxygen inside the blood. Next is the palpitation. This symptom is also comes in the myocardial infarction. The main three symptoms are there. The first indicator inside there, the angina, which directly denotes the myocardial infarction or chest pain, which happens in the myocardial infarction only. Next is diagnosis. What diagnosis will use to diagnose the myocardial infarction or heart attack? So first one is the ECG. This is very confirmatory diagnosis which is done for the diagnosis of the myocardial infarction. In which ECG there is a ST wave elevation found due to MI. This ST wave elevation in the ECG, ST wave elevation found due to the MI. This is indicator of the MI. This indicates MI. First one is angina, which indicates MI, and second confirmatory diagnosis which is indicating also the ST wave elevation in the ECG. When we do ECG, the ST wave elevation, there will be a MI. Two more conditions are there: ST wave inversion, and presence of Q wave. Wider Q wave. Next is the cardiac marker. This is also the confirmatory diagnosis cardiac marker. The first cardiac marker which is most commonly present in MI, this is the troponin T. This allows our cardiac muscles have these biomarkers or cardiac markers. Cardiac markers are also known as biomarkers. They supplied by the or generated by the myocardial cells, because our heart is suffering. When our heart starts suffering or their injuries there, they start making this substance, and their presence, troponin T is present in our blood. If troponin T's level increases, increases, in blood denotes the MI. This also denotes the MI. Next diagnosis is there 2D echo. 2D echo is the type of ultrasound of our heart. So this also helps to diagnose the conditions related with heart, especially in case of myocardial infarction. MRI is also can be used for the diagnosis of myocardial infarction. And next is the angiography. Angiography is the scopical examination for the purpose to see the lumen of artery. To see the lumen of artery, we inject some ink inside their artery and we see what is the formation and how is formed the level of plaque. We see the plaque and we see the how artery is blocked and how much is open to blood flow. Moving to next topic, treatment or management of MI. So first of all, there is a pharmacological or medical management. This help to learn MONA. M for morphine. Morphine is a kind of analgesics which is used in the severe pain, which is especially using in the myocardial infarction, which will reduce the pain. Patient is suffering with pain, so morphine will be given to the reduce pain or relief in the pain. Next is oxygen therapy or O2 therapy. Patient is suffering with the lack of oxygen because his heart is suffering and body is also suffering. So we will provide our first priorities there. We will provide the oxygen therapy to the patient. Next is nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin is a kind of anti-anginal. This is a kind of anti-anginal. Anti-anginal means it reduce angina. It reduce or it relief in the angina. What it works, nitroglycerin dilates our blood vessels. This is a kind of vasodilators which dilates our blood vessels and allow more blood to flow towards the heart. Next is anticoagulant. Anticoagulants are those drugs which restrict the formation of blood clotting. Which mostly using in the myocardial infarction is aspirin. Heparin is also may be used for the anticoagulant. These drugs will not form the blood clot. They restrict the formation of blood clot and allows more blood supply towards the heart muscles. Next is thrombolytic drugs. The example of thrombolytic is streptokinase. Streptokinase is most common use drug for the thrombolytic agent. Thrombolytic agents are those agents which are dissolving the clots, which process is called fibrinolysis. By the process fibrinolysis, this process dissolves the clot, which already been formed. Which clot by dissolved by this process, these drugs will used for the dissolving of clot. If clot will be dissolved, there is space and there is a open artery, which artery was blocked by the thrombus production. These drugs will help to dissolve this clot. Next is the beta blockers. Beta blockers and calcium channel blockers both are the anti-hypertensive drug, type of anti-hypertensive drug. They will reduce the BP. They will lower the BP. Our BP will be lower by these drugs, and they will also help in reducing the load of heart. They will help to reduce the load of heart because our heart is demanding more oxygen. He is pumping continuously. But if we are providing these drugs will help to decrease the demand of oxygen by the heart. If heart will demand low oxygen, there will be a beneficial for that management. That is next, using the statins. These are the lipid lowering agents. Statins are used for the lipid lowering agents, which helps to reduce the level of cholesterol in our body, or consumption of cholesterol, or collection of cholesterol inside our body. So these drugs will help in the lowering of lipids. Next is the defibrillation. In case of emergency, if patient is suffering with the cardiac arrest due to the myocardial infarction, our heart starts stopping pumping. If our hearts don't pump, there is a condition of emergency, we can use the CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Defibrillation may be used for the compression of heart muscle externally with the help of defibrillator. Defibrillator is a device, this is electrical device which is used to pump over the chest for the compression. So this will help heart to pump again. Our heart will pump again and provide oxygen or pump oxygen to whole body. Next is calcium channel blockers. We already discussed about calcium channel blocker. These are also the anti-hypertensive drugs which will lower our BP and also lower the reduce the load of heart. If heart will have a more load, there is a demand of more oxygen. If we lower this if we load on the heart, then there is a lack and some reduced demand of oxygen. This is beneficial for us. Next is moving towards non-pharmacological or surgical management. Surgical, for the surgery, by what we do for surgery for the MI. The most common 3 surgeries we can learn with the ABC shortly. So for A, the angioplasty. Angioplasty is the surgical repair of the arteries by the surgeon, cardiosurgeon. This is the repairing of removal of clot and the repairing of the coronary artery lumen by the surgical procedure. Next is the bypass graft. Coronary artery bypass graft, this is also known as CABG, which is the surgical procedure making then another way or bypass for the blood flow making inside the coronary artery. Suppose this is artery, this is blocked, but we are making another way for the blood flow. So this artery will supply blood to forward. So this surgery is done by the surgeon. Next is the coronary artery stent. See, for the coronary artery stent, we introduce or we insert any device inside this artery which will crush this atherosclerotic plaque or rushes this out and flow with the blood. These stent will be removed after some time and this allows the open of the artery. Open artery. So this allows clear blood flow towards the heart muscle. This procedure, these 3 procedures are surgical procedures done for the surgical management of myocardial infarction. Next is the healing of MI. After 24 hours, there is a healing start with the scar tissue, the scar muscles inside our myocardium. This process starts after the myocardial infarction. Our some cells start healing because some injuries there. In MI, some injuries there inside, they are lack of oxygen. Due to the lack of oxygen, our myocardiopcytes are vigorously dying. Per second, 500 myocardiopcytes are dying. So this is a very dangerous condition which is healing. So healing by 3 phases. First phase will be there. First phase will be there. There is an inflammatory phase. Inflammatory phase. Next is the proliferative phase. Proliferative phase. And next is healing phase. This process starts within the 24 hours. Within the 24 hours after the MI. This is very important. Next is the some common measures we can use for the treatment. We can add in our lifestyle for MI as a prevention for the MI. So if those patients are discharging after this disease, we can add and we can provide their health education as a lifestyle changes. Lifestyle changes means they start walking, they start jogging, they start physical activity like go to gym or go for some physical work to reduce their weight, to maintain their body. So these type of disease will not happen with them. Next is the smoking cessation. Smoking cessation is stop of the smoking. Stop, if patient is consuming smoke or alcohol, we can stop these things like smoking cessation. Avoid alcohol also can be used for patient. This health education will be provided by nurses towards the patient, because alcohol and smoking are the most common risk factor or causes for this disease. Next is diet and nutrition. We can add healthy diets like green vegetables and low cholesterol diet. When nowadays we are getting more of cholesterol, oily things and oily foods in our diet. So we can replace these things with the healthy diet content like green vegetables and more things, supplements like nutritive supplements which add with the diet. Low salt diet is also used for the MI or cardiac patient, because low salt will reduce our BP. Salt will reduce our BP. So for the hypertensive patient or cardiac patient, there should be a diet with the low salt. These some things and some common measures can help to prevent this kind of conditions. So thank you.